Hey, everybody, welcome to Sports Map Houston. I'm John. That's Lance. You can hear us mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet so you get all of our content here at Sports Map HOU. Game 6. The Astros are going in there. They're going into
Game
Arlington.
6. Are we going to
beat them, possibly all 3, but 2 out of 3 for sure. Game 6. Framber or France?
Framber.
For
you got to
how
go
long?
with who. You got to dance with who brung you.
How
And
long
France
is
out
the
of
leash?
France is out of the rotation. He's out of the rotation.
Okay, he looked much better. This is an odd year. Framber doesn't pitch well in the postseason in odd years, and he's proven it already. In 2 starts, he's terrible. He's got 11.57 ERA. I know he's your guy, but okay, you're going to start him. I get that. But he's got a very short leash with me.
Well, that may be the case. I think he'll have a relatively short leash with Dusty, which is why playing the role of Christian Javier from a couple years ago will be JP France. We'll see France. Well, we won't see him against, for Christian Javier when we're taping. Of course, Christian hasn't pitched yet, so we won't see him there. I don't think with a day off. I don't think we'll see him there. And my guess is more than likely you don't use him for Urquidy. You could. And actually, John, maybe that's where he is. Maybe he's pitching on the back end of Urquidy. Maybe Urquidy gets a short leash too because, he doesn't have a lot of in-game experience this year down the stretch, but what he does have is 2 very good ones back to back. But I just don't think, not only is it not what Dusty would do, I don't think it's what any major league manager would do to bench one of your top 2 pitchers because he struggled the first 2 games. It's that's not happening. But will he have a shorter leash? Well, I mean, Dusty went and got him fairly early in that game, not before 5 runs had been scored, but he wasn't terrible. He had decent stuff. He just made some really inopportune mistakes and some bad luck hit him, boom, 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 like that. I worry a little bit about Framber's mentality, right? We know that it's been a while. He's usually able to focus in and lock in, but we know in his background he's had some issues where sports psychologists had to come in and help him. Does that bother you at all that maybe that could leak out into, not handling adversity well?
Well, it doesn't look like he has been handling adversity at all, if you want to know the truth. It took a little while, but he finally had some swings and misses, and then he had 6 strikeouts. He was okay with his stuff. He thought he had decent stuff, and they didn't hit it all that hard. They did hit some balls really, really hard off of him, and he just wasn't the same Framber. I agree with you. It's not like you. But I am not going to last long with him, especially in a game 6. You're possibly facing elimination if you get that far, or you try to get ahead if you're up 3-2 if you win all 3 games in Arlington. But this is not the same Framber. It hasn't been since the second half of the season started, except for 2 outings, 1 no-hitter and then another really good outing. Otherwise, we have not seen the same Framber this second half as we saw in previous years. Not the number 2 starter for a championship team, that's for sure.
No, it's not, and that would be one thing, except for the fact that your number 3, Christian Javier, at one point your number 4, who would have been Hunter Brown, and he's not anymore, obviously. That's what hurts you even more with Framber is you may not have the same Christian Javier to fall back on. He's had some good, he had a good postseason game already. Let's see what he does in this spot when they face off against the Rangers. But I will say this, sometimes your offense just has to win it for you. You managed 39 runs against the Rangers before in Arlington in a 3-game series. You may just have to have your offense pull you through. We saw it happen in 17 where they had to do that when the bullpen was no good. Maybe it's just time that Kyle Tucker, we're talking about Framber. Maybe the talk should be about Tucker and McCormick. Altuve. And these are the guys maybe we should be talking about more.
Yep. No, I mean, they lost 2-0. So that'll tell you something about where the offense is. It's so hit or miss right now. And listen, Jordan's just been carrying it, and you just can't have him do everything. You got to do something. The other guys, you got to do something, and we want you to do something as well. We got the tailgate coming up October 25th. It's at Silver Street Studios. Cocktails and all kinds of great food, and it's a low fee for you to get in. All the food and drink, and VIP ticket holders going to get to meet Jonathan Joseph. So go to tailgate.com shop.culturemap.com. Use promo code SPORTSMAP to get a $10 off any type of ticket. The food and drink included in the price. This is a lot of fun. Get to Silver Street Studios on October 25th. After what you've seen with Fromber, after what you've seen with Tucker, after what you've seen now with Brian Abreu, which guys are you more apt to extend, and which are you more hesitant about?
Well, I mean, Fromber has. I can't. If I'm the Astros, I can't get too caught up in the recency bias because Fromber's been a fantastic pitcher for you for 3 straight years. Like it's. For 3 years, he 20, 21, 22. This year, he was good for much of the year. Average to good for him, and then he, fell off some. So I can't let that bother me too much. It is a concern, though, when you're going to pay Fromber and you pay him good money on the heels of Christian Javier, who you paid early. You didn't have to pay Christian Javier early, but you did, and now you're on the hook for pretty good money. So I don't know that I'm looking to pay guys early, to be honest with you. You're already on that Christian Javier hook, and that wasn't good for most of the year. We'll see how he does in Game 3. But with Fromber, I don't really see you have a lot of a choice. Who are you going to rely on? Christian Javier, who's already getting paid and not pitching very well this year. Hunter Brown, Urquidy is getting older. I would say you do have Garcia coming back next year. I think you pay Fromber, but what you pay him, John, that's going to be a really interesting conversation because he probably deserves to be in the upper 20s based on the way he's pitched. But
especially how you got screwed on the Javier. Well, right now it looks like you've been screwed on the Javier deal. You've been screwed on the Montero deal. You're giving Abreu a lot of money for the next couple of years, $19.5 million each year. You've already signed Jordan up long term. You got arbitration with Tucker. You got Bregman and Altuve coming up. I have no idea what you do. I know I want to sign Abreu. I know that
Brian Abreu
because he is going to be.
But he's under club control, so you're fine.
Yeah, he's under club control, but I want him long term. I'd rather lock him up like one of those deals that you've done with Altuve and Bregman
or Christian Javier.
And well, that is true. That is true as well. But Brian Abreu seems like a sure thing to me. I want to do that.
I would have said the same thing about Christian Javier last year.
Yeah, you're right.
Seemed about as sure as it could be. That's been the most disappointing thing about this year is that Christian Javier was supposed to be one of the top 5 pitchers in Major League Baseball, and right now I don't know that he's one of the top 5 pitchers for the Astros if you include the bullpen.
Well, I agree.